Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you. What a year 2023 has been. There's been ups and downs, but I would say overall for the sneaker game, it's been a wonderful year. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at my favorite pickups of 2023. And real quick to get us started, this one might be in the honorable mention category. This is the Jordan 1 High 85 in the varsity red colorway. Whenever these first dropped, I was unable to get a pair. They were crazy limited, and resale prices quickly went up very high, and it didn't look like they were going to come below $700 in my size. However, part of why I think this has been such a good year is because bangers like this dropped to within grasp. I typically don't like paying resale, and on my list, this is going to be the only pair that I'm talking about today that I didn't pick up for retail. Resale prices actually dropped to $300 on this shoe in my size this year, and I would have never guessed that they would become attainable like that for me. I love to grab shoes for retail or under retail. I'm a big fan of saving money, and typically I don't spend extra money. However, when this shoe was made, they only made 23,000 pairs. They individually numbered the dust bags that came with these shoes, and I just love this pair. This has been a pair that I've wanted for years, and I never thought I'd be able to have it, and now that I have it, I'm wearing them all the time, and I absolutely love them. So this, even though I paid resale prices for them, is one of my favorite pickups of 2023. All right, and before we get on to the rest of my favorite pickups of the year, I just wanted to take a quick minute and say thank you so much for all the support in 23. At the beginning of the year, I had between 5,000 and 6,000 subscribers. I set a personal goal for the channel to get to 10,000 subscribers, and right now we are knocking on the door of 12,000 subs. I think we got to the 10,000 sub goal around the beginning of October, and we just continue to grow, and I'm loving it. I am so happy to see new people come and sub up, and if you know other sneakerheads that might be interested in the channel, put the word out. We're growing, and there's plenty of room at the table. In my mind, I keep thinking, will I be able to get to 20,000 subs by 2025? And I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I think that's my goal for next year, is to get from the 12,000 range up to 20,000. So let's see if we can make that happen. So the first pair that I want to look at ended up being way more limited than what I had realized. As soon as I saw images of these, I knew it was a pair that I was going for. I ended up trying on both of my accounts and my wife's account, and one of my accounts actually hit. I was really surprised, and then whenever it came out that numbers were as limited as what they are, I was even more surprised. But my first favorite pickup of 2023 is the Clot Fragment Nike Dunk Low. This was made as a three-way collaboration between Nike, Clot, and Fragment. This was made to celebrate and commemorate the 20th anniversary of the streetwear brand Clot. And the founder of Clot just happens to be best friends with the founder of Fragment, and they all came together with Nike to give us this release. This was all kind of based on an Air Force One that was done years ago, but it had this paisley print all over the top. This silk is actually a tearaway material, and I think it looks phenomenal. I love that print that we have all over that. Underneath of there, there's some Clot branding and Fragment branding. The swoosh is actually black underneath, but the rest of the upper is just white. They do look cool whenever you tear some of that fabric away, but I think they look phenomenal like this. So I wouldn't tear that fabric unless I started wearing them and they got dingy or something like that. But overall, this is just a really unique looking shoe. I don't have anything in the collection like this. They are rare, so I do consider this a big W. It does have some blue laces, and I feel like that's kind of some of the Fragment influence coming through on there. But overall, I love the style of these. I think that they came out wonderfully, and this is definitely one of my favorite pickups of 2023. All right, my second favorite pickup of 2023, and these are in no particular order. I don't know if I could pick a favorite out of all these shoes if I tried. These are all just the pairs that came to my mind quickly whenever I kept thinking, what's going to be on my top pickups of this year list? And for me, anytime I get a Kobe for retail, that's a huge deal. This is the Kobe 8 Halo. And this is actually the first pair of Kobe 8s that I've ever had. These came out, I think, on his birthday on August 23rd. And of course, Mamba Day is always August 24th, the day after his birthday. That's a combination of his numbers, 8 and 24. They kind of gave us the feeling whenever they dropped these, like there's going to be Kobe's for everybody. You know, that they're going to up the production, they're going to up the releases. And recently we saw the Reverse Grinches drop. We also saw the Gift of Mamba, the Black 4s drop. And I went for those on as many accounts as I could. I called in family and friends to help me go for those. And I just took L's all over the board. Kobe's remain just about impossible to get, in my opinion. And I don't know if they really are going to up the production like they suggested they were going to. I think that they are going to start a series of this Halo or this all-white colorway on different Kobe signature models, and I'm all for it. A lot of people were like, oh, that's the ugliest Kobe ever, it's just a plain white shoe. But there's a lot of really cool details in these. I have reviews of all these shoes on the channel if you're interested. But there's a lot of crazy details in these. And beyond that, being that I grew up in the 80s and 90s, I am a huge fan of an all-white shoe. There's just something about it that really works with my style. So although these are wonderful for playing basketball and that sort of thing, I do think that this is a colorway that you could just wear as a lifestyle shoe as well. I'm probably going to catch all kinds of hate for that, but I don't really care. Let it flow. But anyhow, I really like this model. It's a huge deal whenever you get a pair of Kobe's for retail because resale prices just always kind of go crazy. I'm actually really digging the style with these shoes. So this is another pair of my favorite pickups of 2023. All right, so next up on my favorite pickups of 2023, and again, another pair that I was able to get for retail. Actually, this pair isn't reselling for much at all. I think in a lot of sizes, you can get these for under retail. But if you're familiar with the channel, you know that that really doesn't sway how much I like a shoe. I don't really buy what I buy thinking, oh, this is going to pay my mortgage. I just buy what I want and what I like. And when it comes to this pair of shoes, this is the New Balance Concepts collaboration, and they refer to these as the C Notes. The reason that they call them that is because this is inspired by the newly redesigned $100 bills from 2013. The first time that we saw this collaboration and this pair of 998's release was in 2013 when that new $100 bill came out, and they drew a lot of the influence from the security features of that new $100 bill. So you'll see that bright blue and then the bronze accents, and really just all over the shoe you can see little details that are inspired by different parts of the new $100 bill. Whenever the 2013 pair came out, I kind of wasn't into sneakers at that time. I was more focused on just paying bills and putting food on the table. It wasn't until a couple of years after the 2013 release that this pair really came on my radar. As soon as I saw them, I really loved this pair of kicks. However, by that time, they were already too expensive on the resale market for me to grab them. This being a collab, I didn't think that we would ever see this again. I actually didn't even realize that these were dropping. I think I saw an Eddie Wynn video saying that they were coming out again. So shout out to Eddie Wynn. This is a shoe that I wanted and that I thought I missed my chance on. And sometimes I love it when a shoe like that comes back around unexpectedly and then you're able to get them and even get them for retail. I think this pair of shoes is so cool. I love the style, I love the colors, and I like how the theme or the inspiration comes out on them. These just seem like a really premium pair of shoes, and I think they came out beautifully. So once again, this is another pair of shoes that's on my favorite pickups of 2023. All right, so next up on my favorite pickups of this year is the Yeezy 350 V2 in the static colorway. This, once again, is a colorway that I didn't get whenever they originally released. At the time that these came out, I still wasn't really sold on the whole Yeezy thing. A lot of times I am a little bit slow to come around on new designs, but once I got my first pair of 350 V2s, I was hooked. I immediately started looking at this colorway, the static colorway, and just thinking how much I really wanted to have that in my collection. We didn't see a whole lot of Yeezys released this year. I think it was just 1 month that we got a handful of Yeezy releases, but this was one that came out and it sat, and it sat, and it sat, and I kept even telling people, I'm really tempted to buy this pair, but at the time I had grabbed 2 or 3 other pairs of 350 V2s, and I almost let these pass. And then I had some status rewards, and I ended up seeing that they were still sitting on finish line in my size. So I used $20 in status rewards, and I was actually able to get these for under retail. As soon as I got them in hand, I was so relieved that I grabbed them, because once again, this is a pair that I really wanted. And I thought that they were out of my grasp, and with all the turmoil between Yeezy and Adidas, I didn't think we'd ever be seeing these again. So I'm really glad that I jumped at the chance to grab them for under retail. I think this pair is really great. I'm still a huge fan of the 350 V2. I think it's easy to rock. They're incredibly comfortable, and there's really nothing else like them as far as I'm concerned. I know Yeezy gets a lot of hate, and a lot of people say that Yeezys are bricks and that sort of thing. I don't care. I love this pair. I love this colorway, and this static colorway really helps to show off all this knit on the upper of this shoe. I think the details on these things just go crazy, and I love the colors. I love the style of it, and I'm just really pumped that I was able to grab this pair, especially for $20 under retail. All right, so next up we're getting to one of my all-time favorite Jordan silhouettes. This is not an OG colorway, but this is a colorway that has been released before. This is the Jordan 4 in the Thunder colorway. Originally, I think these came out in 2006 as part of the Thunder and Lightning pack. I think it also came with like a tracksuit or like a track jacket or something like that, but it was like $500 back in the day, and basically you got both pair of shoes, these and the Lightning 4s, and then a tracksuit. I think there's no way I could have afforded that back at that time. And we saw the Lightning 4s come out not too long ago, which are just a yellow nubuck upper. However, this is the pair that I preferred out of that pack. I think it was last year that we got the Red Thunder Jordan 4s, and I grabbed a couple of pairs of them, and I just wasn't real pleased with how they came out. The quality control on all my pairs was really horrendous. It was one of the worst Jordan 4s that I've had as far as quality control goes. Whenever I saw that they were going to be releasing these again, I really just hoped that the quality would be better and that they'd come out better than what my pairs of the Red Thunders did. These things are just beautiful to me. I'm a Pittsburgh fan, whether it's baseball or football. I love Pittsburgh teams, and obviously you can tell this colorway would go with just about all Pirates or Steelers gear, so I'm a huge fan of that. And on top of that, I just love the Jordan 4 silhouette. A lot like some of my other pairs that I picked up and are on this list, it's a big deal to me whenever I miss out on a shoe originally, and then I kind of wonder, like, am I ever going to get that shoe? And then it comes back around and I'm able to pick it up. So for me, the Thunder 4s are definitely one of my favorite pickups of this year. I think Jordan Brand did them right, even though it's more of like a Durabuck. It's kind of like a synthetic nubuck. I think these things are beautiful, and I'm really glad to finally have this pair in my collection. Last but certainly not least, this could be a contender for sneaker of the year. and I wouldn't blame anybody that has it at the top of their list. I think Rafi Collects says this is his sneaker of the year. Shout out to Rafi Collects. That's one of my favorite streamers to watch. Check out his channel if you haven't seen it before. This obviously is the white cement Jordan 3. This is part of that Reimagined series where they re-release some of the best colorways of classic Jordan silhouettes that we've ever seen. This is an OG colorway. It originally came out in 1988, and I just think these things are as beautiful as can be. This year, I think Jordan 3s really came up to the plate, and I would say that this year was one of the first years that I can remember in a while that I think the Jordan 3 gave us better releases than what the Jordan 4 did. Releases that come to mind right off the bat are these, the Wizard 3s, which is a pair based on what Jordan wore whenever he came out of retirement. And then the Midnight Navy 3s were really good. They gave us the Fear 3s again, and those were beautiful. And I could keep going, but I really think that along with me just kind of getting a little bit older and everything, I've found that 3s have become easier for me to wear, and I think they go with my style better now. I really do just think that we got better Jordan 3 releases than Jordan 4 releases. Now, I don't know if that'll continue into next year, because of course we have the Military Blue 4s dropping, we have the Reimagined Bread 4s dropping, and it looks like next year they're really going to go hard on some classic Jordan 4 colorways. But I think for 2023, I think the Jordan 3 was the best retro Jordan silhouette of this year. Let me know if you agree with that or not. But anyhow, back to these. They've got that Nike Air on the back, and that heel tab is in a cream color. It's got some cream accents down on the midsole, and I'm a huge fan of the leather that they gave us on this. I think they gave us really good materials. A lot of people complained that the elephant print was mismatched from one shoe to the next, but for all the pairs that I saw, it looked perfect. And I'm not saying that that didn't happen. However, I'm just saying I was lucky enough that any pair that I got my hands on looked really good in my opinion. But when it comes to a classic OG colorway on a retro silhouette and good materials, I just don't think it gets much better than this. I think this is one of the most wearable Jordan 3s to come out in recent years, and I'm just ecstatic that I have this in the collection. But that pretty much wraps up this review. Those are my favorite pickups of 2023. I really appreciate y'all watching. I know this wasn't a real hyped list, but the hyped stuff isn't really necessarily what I'm the most into. I just tend to buy what I like, and I just like what I like. I think along with age comes the freedom to really just like your own thing and do your own thing and not be worried about what the masses say is cool and that kind of stuff. I know most lists probably aren't going to have Yeezys on there. These are my favorite pickups of this year. Let me know what your favorite pickup of 2023 is, and let me know what you're looking forward to next year as well. I really appreciate all the support that you gave me this year, and I really look forward to getting your continued support next year. I hope you have a wonderful and happy new year, and I can't wait to see where the channel goes in 2024. Thank you all for watching so much. Have a blessed day, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm out.